Hey crafters, it's me, Jen Evers with Quality Crafts. I have no idea if this actually went live when it said I was going live. It just keeps spinning and doing different things. I'm trying to go beta, so I'm on here early, about 8 minutes. So don't worry about that. I'll reiterate everything and that kind of thing. But I wanted to see how this went, so I wasn't late. I didn't miss people. Hey, Huntress Habits, Brenda Gentry, hello. Hey, Marlene Flint. Um, Let me know, like, how did that start out for you? Like, did it start out like it normally does? Was I just sitting here, like, twiddling my thumbs, waiting, staring at the screen? Like, it's totally opposite that, and then everything that I remember doing from the regular part. So I just need a little feedback. Let me know how that went. This is so weird. And I see that there's closed captions on there, and they're really bad. Because I'm kind of watching both. It started out like normal, like, hey, crafters, and here. Okay, so, like, if you're new to my channel and you're like, what's going on? YouTube created a beta where everything looks different. And I not only, like, instead of just going live and everything works out, I have to go live and then I have to say, confirm, yes, I want to go live. And then I get this big spinny thing, and then I have to click again, go live, and then I get like this little countdown. It's just why? Don't fix it if it's not broken. Anyway, so this is what we're working on. Working on explosion boxes, but today, so here's one of the explosion boxes. Today we're going to actually work more on the embellishments, hence the title, Explosion Box Embellishments DIY Free Play Friday, because it is Free Play Friday. So here's what our original box looked like when I showed you how to do that. Now, if you're coming in and you're like, I don't know how to make that, you can go skip back on my channel one video and you should be able to find it. And it'll show you how to make this box. It'll show you how to make this cover. And I actually showed you how to make a tighter cover. This one is a little bit tighter if you want it to really hold well. The one that's not as tight is just a little bit more convenient and easier to put on. So that's the tighter one. It kind of bows the thing in a little bit more, but it's totally up to you. So if you want to go back to that video and find out how we made these two lids, you see it's a little bit bigger, and how we put this together, essentially made these three pieces, okay? I didn't glue these together because we're still kind of working on that one. We started another one where I just barely got into talking to you guys about what was, I don't want to, I have my little things here that I posted earlier today, my little sand dollars, and I don't want them to get ruined before I ship them off. I better move those to a safer place. Okay, I feel a lot more comfortable if they're not in front of me. Here's the one that we started before when I showed you how to do it. And we started with the larger of the three layers on the bottom. And I showed you that you could put papers down and create your own little, like, notepad, which is kind of cool. You could cut open one of the squares and flap them over and make a little pocket, which is neat. I'm really sorry that I started off early, you guys, and some of you came in a little bit later and was like, whoa, like she already started. I just wanted to make darn sure I wasn't going to make everyone wait for me tonight as I was starting to try the beta on YouTube. So if you missed that part, that's why I'm far ahead. So if you missed anything and you want to know something, let me know. Give me a question, all in caps. And we're going to do a little bit more decorating on here. We want to do embellishments that we can put on these layers. So we've got two more layers to do. I also showed how to make the heart in the corner, and that just folds in when you close your box. So you can put paper on these sides of the hearts if you want. It's totally up to you. But I made a bunch of little embellishments that I thought would be really fun to add to this, because this card, this explosion box card, as I say, let me take these off of here. We're going to decorate with this stack, which I think I showed you last time. This is what, the old something stack, the old world stack. Whoops, sorry guys. Volume is good. Awesome. So old world stack here, and it's just kind of some light colors, a little bit of shabby chic, sort of, is what I kind of think of it. So I made some different embellishments that I will show you how to do. Some of them are super duper easy. Some of them you probably already guessed how to do it. Here's one that I did where I used a punch, and then all I did to spice it up to make it look a little bit different. As soon as my camera catches up with me here. I really want a new camera that... Let's turn the light on. Let's see if that helps it focus. So what I did was I put sequins there and then a little pearl in between. And look how cool it makes that look. And all I did was add that little touch. So we'll be putting this on here somewhere. Another couple of flowers that I did. I used the flower centers that I'm selling on my sales. So if you're looking for that flower center, I have them. Aren't they pretty? They look like diamonds. They're so gorgeous. And this one, I believe, was just the regular little flower punch. I'll show you which one I used. It was this one. That's the flower punch I used for that one. So that's super duper easy. I'll let you guys vote on kind of like what you want me to see, what you want to see remade. This is another one that I made with the same punch. Different paper. I didn't cut it up. Same centers. Of course, that's old world stack paper so that I can make everything match. And then I have this punch that I've been using with the 3 little flowers on it. And let's see. Okay, I've got that other one. There's another little flower I made similar to the other two. Okay, those are the color scheme of the old stack, so they're going to match. And then I put together a couple of these flowers. Now these have 3 different things on them. It's this punch with that little flower there, okay? And then I used some of the, I don't know if I still have these in the store or not, but they're these little guys. These little fancy, like, bright flowers, them. I put those in the middle with a little flat back pearl. And so that's how I got those. Alrighty, and so then I just picked out a bunch of other stuff that I thought I could use. I have a punch that literally punches out little silverware, and I thought that would be fun, so I added a little bit of Nouveau drops to these, and a little bit of coloring. I did a little bit of shading with a gray Spectrum Noir marker, and I just made myself a little set of silverware that I could add. Just thinking, you know, I don't have anything like focus for this card. I just want to show you some fun things that you can add. The other thing that we were talking about was adding pieces from what we've been working on in the past. So I've got enough of this to maybe cut this down the middle and make 2 patterns, depending. I've also got this one. Hey, Jamie. So there's a lot of fun stuff that we can incorporate into this. Another fun thing that I came up with that I'm sure you guys have seen before, but I think will be really fun. We're going to start out with this one, I think it is. Yeah. So let me get rid of these other 2 layers and let me show you this fun idea. This is the same piece of paper as this one, but do you see the tree motif on this one? I'm going to show you how I got that motif. Same with this one right here, where I added, it's all the same paper, but I added color onto there, and I'm going to show you how I did that. And I'm going to use my station. So I have that right here, and I'm going to show you how I got that, which is so simple, and you could do this with like anything and everything that you have. I'm sure you have a ton of these things hanging around. I used this stencil that I have, which is the tree stencil, and we'll do it the same way as the other one. So I just kind of popped that on there and went, okay, that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and hold this down in a couple of the corners so that it doesn't move around. This is the station, by the way. It's not super flexible, but it has a little bit of give. It's a metal, magnetized metal base. And there's two holes, one here and one here, and that's how I hang mine on the side of my desk. And then it comes with the ruler that's magnetized and the 4 really cool magnets. So if you're looking for that, I do still have some of those in stock. You just have to ask me for it. Say I really want one of those stations. And then I used my brushes, which we just got in our last shipment, and I used a gray. So I'm going to pull that out. I used Hickory Smoke. And right now I'm using the Ranger Oxide inks. Okay, so all I'm going to do is just take these brushes and then brush that ink right over the top of this little panel. So smooth. You could drag that ink around. The brushes will take it off the top of the stencil and drag it into the other parts that you want. And then you can just decide how dark you want that to be. You can wipe this off on a piece of paper, which sometimes I just go like this and wipe it off on the excess paper that I have here. And that's all you have to do. Just wipe it off until you don't see any more of that gray. And then put it back in your holder. That's the oxide inks. Now if you use dye inks, you may have to do a little bit more rubbing. I also have, where's my little cloth? I like these for wiping the color off on. These funky little cloths. I'm trying to think of what these are called. They feel funny on your hands, but they're really great for getting that ink off of your brushes, and it's super fun to use. So that's another idea. And then all you have to do is take off your magnets, and there you have it. So you've kept the integrity of the color of the background so that it matches your project, but you added something really cool to it. See that? And so we're going to go ahead and glue these down to our project. As far as this goes, you can just take a baby wipe and wipe it right down. It should all just come right off there. And I just set it to the side to dry. And that's it. And then if I'm done with this, then I have 2 holes. The 2 holes there, I have 2 nails that match those holes right on the side of my desk, where all I have to do is pop it back up there. And that's it. So let's go ahead and pop some of these things of color that we've done here. Now I still have ink on those sides, so I'm going to try not to put them upside down on my white, because then I might have gray where I don't want it to go. Now I'm getting a little warning. It says YouTube's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewer ... So if you guys are having any problems, let me know. I just kind of want to... I mean, if we're going to have issues with with this, I can go back to using the regular one, which I much prefer because it's so much easier. I do like that I can see the people who are like number of views and number of likes, which is interesting because I couldn't see that before. This little guy, which is almost about the same size, is a little envelope that I made, and then I did the same trick with this with 2 different colors, and I used that. And so I'm going to use this little envelope to put right here on one of these sides. I was going to do both of these, but I thought, you know what? We'll put one there, and then we'll put this guy right here. He's pretty cool. And I'm going to show you how to make this. This one is... Let's see, how wide is my... not going to be able to tell on my... I'm going to take one of these and show you how to do it. Just a whole nother sheet of paper here. This one's fun. All you need is a square piece of paper. I'm going to do 6 by 6 and see what I get from that. This is how I did this little envelope here. Fold it in half and then fold it in half again. Corner to corner. Okay, and then fold each one of these corners to the middle. 2 opposite corners to the middle. This is going to give me a really big one. This one's going to come up, and it is going to overlap here a little bit. Okay, so it closes up the bottom of it. Some people like to fold this over or under. I just like to leave it flat out. And then the top, of course, is going to come down to meet the bottom, and that's also going to overlap here a little bit. And that's it. You just open this part and put some tape right here. Is anybody else getting that funky videos not receiving enough to maintain blah blah whatever? And you can cut these little corners off if you don't like that, especially if you're going to try to put something in there. Got some tape on my scissors there. Let's go ahead and cut this part right off. Just that corner. No, you're not getting that, huh? So here's a really big envelope. Not going to fit on my project, but that's the whole gist of it. So maybe you want to start off with one that, since ours is 4 by 4, maybe you want to start off with a 5 by 5 and see what you get with that. This was kind of close to 5, but it didn't have a perfect measurement, so I didn't want to throw you guys off. Anyway, those are super easy and super fun to do. Since it does match, I can always add in another card to go with my project if I want, if I'm giving it to somebody. And I'm going to go ahead and glue some of these guys down. And we're going to use our envelope that we created here. I should have room, plenty of room for that. So then I think I'm going to cut these off because I can find something to put in there as well. If you have cutter bee scissors and you do this, it'll work really well. Just be careful not to cut yourself because those suckers are sharp. Okay, another thing that you can do, just to create another, something just so it looks neater. Let me see if I can find my spray. This is my mica spray, but we're going to go ahead and use it. I'm just going to get this paper a little bit wet here. This will break up the fibers in the paper, make them a little bit softer. I'm picking up some of the water because it's got mica in it, which means it's going to be sparkly. Sparkly doodah. Right? I love to crumple paper and then dry it and use it for certain things. It just looks so cool. So if you want it to dry even more like wrinkled, as you're drying it, you can push it together. So now it's not soft, it's a little bit more scrunchy and firmed up. And that way you can glue it down to something and you'll keep that fun texture, that fun bump. So since we have this extra, we could put it on this to make it matchy-matchy, couldn't we? I was thinking maybe putting a little on each side. Let's see. Now when I do this, I'm not going to smash it with my ATG gun. I'm going to use some wet adhesive, which is Aleene's Tacky Glue for me. You can use whatever you have. Elmer's Glue Works. Whatever is your favorite adhesive. I'm going to put some over here. And you probably can't tell from the perspective on the video, but I'm going to lift this up so you can see that I added sparkle too by having mica in that water spray. I don't know what I did with the regular one. Now I could have made these into pockets too, but I'm just decorating. I just want it to look cool. Okay, and if I lift it up, you should be able to see some of the shimmer in there, I think. Oh, it's really hard to tell on my end if you guys are seeing that. It's really subtle. Now, we could make hearts out of these corners like we did out of the first one. We could have made little pockets like we did with this one. This is a full pocket. We could have done that, but I decided not to. You still could flap them underneath and make it into a pocket yet. But these are longer than these, so it's not going to be a full pocket. You'd only get a little pocket. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and cut these ones off for me. I'm just going to get rid of them. Actually, I usually save them just in case I want to use it for another project, because they'll be perfect little squares. And then we'll start adding some flowers and some of the other things that I made. Hey, Sharon. I should have said hello to everyone else too, I'm sorry. I got caught up on whether or not this stream was going to go well. I really like to be here when I say I'm going to be here. And so when things go wrong and don't go right, then it just kind of gets under my skin. So here we've got this one. Is this, I think that's the top one. This is the top one. Okay, that's the middle one. We can add more to this one because it's the one that's going to be in the middle. Now, my other card that I did, I literally put a little box. This doesn't come off. I glued it down in the middle. You can put whatever you want in the middle. Matter of fact, you can make another full box with a cover and then have something coming out of there if you want. Whatever you want to do. But I thought, wouldn't it be fun to just start playing around with some of these flowers that I've got? Hot glue works too. And then we've got some of these blue flowers, so maybe we'll put some of those over here. So what essentially makes this easier to do, and I'm going to use this too, so this is going to go on here as well. We're just going to start decking this out with all the stuff that we have. Is if you take one stack or a 6x6 stack or some scrap colors or whatever that you've got. So I've got a bunch here that, see where I cut out all those flowers from? And that way you don't have to think about what matches. You already know that no matter what you pull out of here, it's going to match. It's going to go with this theme. And then all you have to do is just put things together and pull out some of your punches and just create some fun, cool stuff. Yeah, Kathy says it'd be cool to make a really large 3D flower to put in the middle. We could do that. I could pull out some larger punches. That would be fun. So do you guys want to see me put together some of these flowers, or just this already kind of makes sense and you're like, yeah, I don't think I need to see that again? I want to put these guys on here too. I think that would be fun. Looks like I've got enough room that I can even tuck them under. That's cute. Let's go ahead and do that. I'll tuck these guys underneath. I figured out why my chair is squeaking and it's driving me up a wall. I'm missing a screw that fell out eons ago. And I knew that it went to this chair, but for the life of me I couldn't figure out where, and finally I got sick of holding on to it and I threw it out. Now I know where it goes. And I don't have another one that'll actually fit in there, and so the chair squeaks now and there's nothing I can really do about it. Now this kind of stuff you can use on mini albums, you can use on decorating your scrapbooks, you can use for, did I already mention mini albums? That's exactly where most of these ideas came from, is that people deck out their mini albums like they just fill the whole thing. Like sometimes I'm just watching them and I'm blown away. But the explosion boxes are very much similar because you can add just as much of everything into this that you can into a mini album, technically. Oh, food gift card, Kathy Webb. Good idea. Good idea. That's cute. Let's go ahead and get this down. I like that idea a lot, Kathy. I still have a small piece of that. Oh, and it's going to fit on another piece, so I can maybe put that underneath on a next layer or something. I also cut out some of these greens to add in a different color. And so we can go ahead and add in. These are just punches. I just punched them out. WD-40. I'm not sure where the squeak is coming from. It's like if I put something in that hole where the screw's supposed to be, it stops immediately. It just stops squeaking. And so I'm not really sure where I would put the WD-40. But I like where your head is at. So I'm just gonna start decorating these with a few of these guys. You could even go over the top of these with some ink if you want them to stand out more. Vintage photo is a really nice color to do all that kind of stuff with. I think I'll put one more down on that side. I'm not sure why we're getting weird lighting in here today, but that looks cool. If you do your flowers in white, then you can spray them to match your match all of your stuff too. Or you could use your alcohol markers to color them, color your paper, color whatever. Like if you're like, okay, well, I don't really have a paper pack that matches, you can do a lot of different coloring and inking and stuff to make everything go together. Even if all you have is white, you can do a lot of things with markers and colors and inks. So yeah, we could do some of these flowers in the center. We could put a little box in the center. I think that would look really cute if we could get a little box that went in there. So this is a 4x4. Let's do a 4x4 box. What color would we want that to be? Let's try to make a little box for in there. Maybe this color. This color would be cute. If we do 4x4, actually, let's see, 5x5. I sometimes get screwed up by the math too. I gotta think about it for a minute. If this is a 4x4 and we want the box to be maybe 3 inches across, then we need it to be 5x5 if we want an inch on each side. I think that's right. Let's cut it 5x5. It depends on how tall you want your box too. I'm looking for my little, there it is. Let's move this guy over. I like to use these instead of these plastic ones because the tips always get yucky. And so I'm going to go ahead and score this at 1 inch on all 4 sides. That's how tall my box is going to be. Alright, and then all you do is just cut up one side of each one of the little squares on the corner. If you want to know more about how to do that in a little bit more in depth, go to the video right before this one where I show you how to do that a little bit more. So a lot of what I did was I just found dies that I had that I can make flowers out of. And then I just put a couple of layers together, use some of my embellishments. If you're looking for some of the embellishments that I've used, come to one of our sales. Our next sale is the 29th. However, we do actually have a sale before then. We have a sale on Sunday. It's a patron-only sale. It's for Christmas in July. So if you want to get in on that sale and you want to get in on doing the Christmas in July crop with us, jump on over to patreon.com/qualitycrafts and join us so that you too can get in on that. Alright, so that made a 3x3 square with it being an inch tall, and that way we got a little white space around the edge. Oh, I like the idea of the dowel. That is a cool idea. All right. How to get this to stick down to this. Now, one way that I've seen people do it is they actually put glue on the edge here. I'm going to cut this off because it's making it tippy. There we go. Perfect. I've not tried that, but if you're going to try that, make sure you use a glue that's going to dry clear so you don't have all this shiny stuff kind of hanging out. What I did with mine, which didn't, it was tricky, was I put tabs on mine, and I put glue on the tabs, and then I just pushed it down and hoped that the tabs would adhere. Because it's hard, it's tricky when you're going underneath. So if you guys have some more tricks, you let me know. I'm going to show you what I did. I just made a couple of just any kind of tab. Piece of paper that's a rectangle folded in half. Like that. Like 2 little tents. And then you're going to put glue on one side. And that's going to stick on this side. And all you have to do is just make sure that wherever you put it, that it goes flat to the top here. Flat here. So stick it down to the side so that sticks up like that, and then the same on the other side. Put a little bit on one side, right? Stick it to the opposite side. And then on these 2 flaps that are sticking out, you're going to put a bunch of glue on there. And this is how I got my other one to stick. But I'm telling you, it's a little bit tricky. I'm going to push it up just a little bit so that it has to be pushed down. And then I'm going to figure out where I want that to go. And I'm just going to hold it there for a little bit. Another thing you could do is you could try to put through a hole through the bottom and put a brad through there. And that way you could put the brad in through the bottom and separate the 2 prongs, and you'd be able to get it to go there, right? Yes, I am still coming the 4th. I'm going to try to get Jamie up and going on YouTube, you guys, so you can see all of her clothes. She does, she sells clothes on eBay, and right now she's got, what is it, 25% off something? It's pretty awesome. I bought some clothes from her. As a matter of fact, I bought a pair of shorts from her just recently. I'll show you. I just got them today. Look at these cute shorts I got. I got these cute shorts from her today. Aren't they adorable? They got little pockets on the back. So cute. I love them. Okay, so that's sticking down. I'm going to leave it. I missed the center, exact center, but that's okay. I don't really care. And then we can put these guys on here. Now, if we want to pop them up in different dimensions, we can use our dimensional tape, which I should have a bunch up here. Yeah, 25% off all women's clothing and shoes. I took advantage of that. So I'm going to put one on one of them. I'm going to put 2 layers on another. As a matter of fact, I could just do one little square and that would be fine too. 2 squares, so that'll pop it up. And then this one I'll do like 3 squares, so it pops up even higher. So I just need one more. There you go. Stick down one side and then stick down the other side. See, I knew you guys would come up with some more ideas. And I'm going to pop these up a little bit, so I want them to be more 3D. I wonder if you guys can hear Liney. So the bottom one, and then the one that's up a little bit further. And then this one will be even higher. So it's got 3. So cool, right? It's got 3, one of them's got 3 pop-ups, so they all kind of complement each other by going up in a little circle. This turned out super cute, didn't it? You can hear the cat, yeah. Alright, so we have just a few things left here. But I still have more stuff. I still have more stuff to go. So let's move this stuff over. So this is the top part. This is the part that they see the most of. So that's the one that I would put my most work into it. I think that one turned out really nice. So let's go ahead and go back to the bottom one. This is where I was saying keep some of these because this will fit into here now. And it would be a little bit small. We might want to put a little attachment on it. But this will fit in here. See, like it's going to go way down too far. But you could use these to, like this one should fit in here perfectly. Yeah. I like to glue these onto something else to make them sturdier. So like I said before, we were going to add some of that. Let's go ahead and add some on this one. And this is how I do mine. I just go ahead and put some glue or tape on the back of the one I'm using. I'm going to save this one because I really like the look of that one. I'm going to use this one. Put it up to the top and then just trim around it. Okay, so now we've got this really fun one and that can go in here. Thanks, Kathy. That was your idea. That was all you. So let's see, what else do we have here? I've got the wood, but I don't want to go into the wood because that's what we did with the other one. Do we have anything here that might go along with this theme? This might. Because you know what? That's kind of similar to that color. And this almost looks like a mermaid. So maybe we could do like a little mermaid type of a theme. That's going to go underneath here. That would totally go. We could do a mermaid and gold theme underneath that. And if I decide later on that I don't like that, I can cut a whole new, you know, one of those little squares and then just redo it. Because I have not glued any of my layers together as of yet. So I'm still open to whatever I want to do. Here's the little mermaid. So I could do that so that the mermaid went on one of these squares, like maybe that one, that would be really cool. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and do a little, let's make this like the mermaid scene. And I believe we've got a 4x4 for that. So how I'm going to make that work is I'm going to cut a white one that's 4x4. Just slightly smaller. Just slightly smaller than 4x4. And I'm going to want to glue it onto here, just like I did with the other one. Let me move this out of the way. So we are decorating the explosion box that we learned how to make in the last video. Last Free Play Friday. And we're embellishing it today. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to get it right down the middle so I get most of her. And then I'm just going to trim it off. And I did it that way because then I would know exactly what size I needed to fit on that little part of the explosion box. And look, we got most of her. So here is the spot that I wanted to do it. We should have a tiny little white border if I cut that correctly. Really, really close. I think I'm going to cut a little bit off. So we got a little bit more of a white edge. That's perfect. Let's do that. That didn't sound good. I break something else? This little guy. That looks pretty good. We were to use some of this, so I wonder if we couldn't do... I'd like to do a couple pieces of this, because wouldn't that look fun? Maybe we should put the... Maybe we should put the waves there across from the mermaid. How wide is that? I can get about 2 inches. Okay. Right, in about 2 inches, we get most of that. So that's about how much I'm going to get. I'm going to go ahead and use my fingernail here. Actually, I'm going to use this. This will be work better. So I know where to cut it. And it will be close enough. Okay, we're going to glue that down. Now we can add some stuff to this. We just don't want these underlayers to be so bulky that they don't fit as we close the box. That fits. That's awesome. Okay. We can still use some more of that other paper too to keep up with the matching. So like we can mix in a little bit of this green color. Maybe I'll save this for just a moment and put a little bit over here. I'm actually really not loving these hearts. It's not my favorite. These should be, I think, a 4x4, aren't they? Or are they a little bit smaller? Yeah, they're 4x4. So if I do 2... Now remember, this part right here, there's going to be something glued down in the middle, so you don't have to worry about that middle piece. But if I do a 3x3, I should be able to get 2 of them on that side. So I decided to go 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, just to make it a little bit bigger. That looks pretty cool. This one I'm going to want to cut that little circle out again. I'm going to run out of tape here in just a second. I can tell it's getting really tough to roll that. I would love to do another one of these and like just do it all white and see how cool that turned out. For like an anniversary. You know what, if I move this down just enough, I won't have to cut. There we go. I'm going to get rid of my hearts because I don't like them. I think if I was doing a Valentine's Day one, I might really like that heart look, but I'm not digging that. I'm going to take them off. you want the hearts, you know how to do it. I showed you how to do that. So don't worry about it. Go to the last video, find the hearts. So let's add on, this is the one I wanted. I wanted to add on some of this. Ooh, that like totally matches that. Is that bad? Let's put something underneath it. Let's put a strip of this underneath it. Wouldn't that look cool? Yeah, let's do that. Gotta cut that. Oh, there goes my... So now you guys get to watch me restock the ATG gun. Oh. And that should be it. Alrighty, now it'll run smoother. Go ahead and add this here. We'll just have to cut off a little bit on each side. I like how that color is playing off the colors that are in that paper. That's so cool. Let's go ahead and glue that down. We used to do this thing where every time I did something on a free play Friday, I would put like an album in the community group so we can see, you know, what everyone else came up with. But there weren't a lot of people that wanted to get in on that. I'm wondering, would you guys like to start that up again? Are there enough of you that would be willing to do the projects we do on Free Play Friday and just post them in the community group so we can get some more ideas other than just mine? I lost my pin. I never did do a video on those. That's a really good question. Where did my pin go? I hope it didn't fall on the floor where it's going to stick into my foot. You guys see my pin somewhere? Let me know if you do so I don't get a pin in the foot. I have an idea. I just have to see if it's still laying around. See if I know where I put it. There it is. I'm still worried about that pin. Probably when I get all cleaned up and stuff and I start putting things away, then it's gonna pop out. Most likely. This is the thing that she's talking about. To fill this. So I just bought one that was bigger and then I cut it down to these two sizes. And I believe this is 1 inch. So if you have a 1-inch punch or a 1-inch circle, you could just lay your 1-inch circle down and cut around that. And then it's just a matter of not letting these two touch. So you cut this one down and with a 1-inch circle out of the middle. And then this one you cut down, but it's got to be a little bit bigger. Not a 1-inch circle, but I say about a 1.5-inch circle on that side. And some of you guys are like, well, big deal, what you know, what do you care whether you have this or not? Well, if you don't have it, sometimes this part of the tape will just pop off, and then you'll have issues with your tape rolling, and this just seems to help them both stay on, and ever since I've gotten them, I've had no problems at all. So just buy yourself some of this. This is super cheap stuff. And then just cut two of them down, one with a 1-inch circle and one with a 1.5-inch circle, and then just make sure that the width of them, that they don't touch, and you got it. I'm gonna find that pin with my toe, I just know it. That's my luck. That's my luck this week. Alright, so this is looking pretty cool, I have to say. I really like it. I've got one of the little blue flowers left, but wouldn't this look really stunning on here? I think we should make some more of those. Let's find that blue. Where is that blue color? I know I used it before. My extra colors, did they fall? I bet they did. So this one, I believe so. Let's use that one. So since I have to cut out all three, I just go ahead and cut out all three. I've got a bunch of them that I can use for later, so it's not a big deal. Yep, they're just little plastic canvas things. Go to like Michael's or Walmart or something and just ask them where those are. Or ask a crafty friend, because you know what? Just because somebody works at Michael's doesn't mean they know hella beans about what you're looking for. Okay. I'm thinking, let's see, 2 more? So we have like a row of 3 like on that other one. That would be pretty. So if you want your flowers to like roll up and look really cool, all you need is an extra little mouse pad. Put your flower on the mouse pad and use the larger ball on these and just roll them. And then it makes it just roll up. Oops. The harder you push and the smaller ball you use, the more 3-dimensional it's going to be. Okay. I don't want mine too poofed up though, because I want to get those other little gems in there. So I gotta find that other little gem bag that I just had. Was not that one. There's my pin. See, that was a smart idea for me to put it in that tray. Now I don't have to worry about it. There it is. Okay, I'm gonna try to get another 2 blue ones out of here, but you know, sometimes it's easier said than done. Could always use white too. Well, if I use white because they're thicker, I won't be able to get the extra little pearl on there to stay. So I think I'm just gonna get rid of this one, and I'm gonna do the pearls and do just the pearls on these 3. I'm going to use glue dots because I think those will hold fast better than glue. That's pretty. I could probably use a marker to color these too if I wanted to add another color in there. But I kind of feel like the white's going to be okay. Geez, 5:52 already? I feel like we just started. We just got started. So now we have to decide, do we want something to go under there? Like, wouldn't it be fun to add a little bit of pink, even though we don't have any pink anywhere else? We do have a pink in some of these. So we could add a pink across here. That wouldn't hurt. Well, I'm going to do that. So we have pink on that other layer. We just don't have any pink on this one yet. Yet. Being the key word here. So let's go ahead and add some. This be enough? Oh yeah, perfect. And we could even distress this. Alright, and let's go ahead and use glue dots again to make these guys stay. So how many of you guys would like to see me finish the rest of these and show you a couple more ideas on next Free Play Friday? And how many of you guys would rather move on to something different? I would love to see a vote. There's another. Maybe I want to add in a little bit of that pink. Maybe not over there though. I have one left here. Let's say we want to add in a little bit of that pink, that rosy pink. Let's put some like right here. Okay, but we don't want it to go, past that line. We only want it to go on the top here. So I'm going to try to go. Oh, Rita, you missed the middle. Let me show you. Here's the top piece that we finished. And so in the middle, we've got a little box and we've got some flowers. And so this would be our first layer. This would be our second layer, and it would go on top like this. And then the bottom layer we're working on right now. So I'm going to do one more thing before. Didn't do the waterfall, the flip folds, the mini albums. Yeah, there's a lot of things I haven't done yet, Rita. That's for sure. There is so much that you could do with this. This is crazy. I'm going to try to get a light pink to match that paper. This is the kind of the color I'm trying to match here. And you know what? This abandoned coral looks really, really close. If I do it super light, that might just be the one. This is the last thing I'm going to do, and then we'll take a vote in the community group, and we'll see if anybody really wants to move on with this. So I'm just going to try to add just some light. I'm going to try a bigger one. There we go. Pretty close. Oh, and I was thinking that was extra paper, but I'll be cutting that off. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm not going to keep the corners on any of mine on this one. You certainly can. Or you could fold over if I made that mistake, but you're going to have that little extra piece and make another pocket, side pocket. But there we've got the beginning of that last bottom piece. Let me go ahead and put these guys back. And then this, all you have to do is wipe down with a baby wipe like I did the one before. I think I need some glow-in-the-dark tape for that one. That one, so I can find it when I'm trying to hang up my little thing, because it's dark on that side. I can't really see it. I'm going to go ahead and just wipe this off and put that back in my holder. And then this one, like I said, just baby wipe it off. And then all you have to do is just let it dry. So one quick retrace here for those coming in late, for those who just want a quick review. I like to review at the end. Clean up a little bit of this stuff and get it out of our way. The one we worked on today is this guy. So this is the bottom piece. We have not finished that one yet. And then the middle piece, we really had to work up on. Uh-oh, did I do middle? This is the bottom piece. This is the middle piece. See how it's a little bit smaller? My bad. So that's the bottom piece. This will be the middle piece when we get it done. And this is the top piece. And so then it will all come up together to make a box. And we have a nice long box top that'll go on the top of that box when we're done. We still have to get rid of these three squares and decide what we're going to do with them first, but that's where we got. And so if you're willing to try this out, go to the video right before this one and follow the directions on how to make your three sections, and then you can deck it out any way that you want. I would love to see what you guys are creating. You don't need to find an album or a specific spot, but if you would make something that I make on here and you're inspired, come over to the community group in Facebook called Quality Crafts. Answer the 3 questions so that we know that you're not spam or anything, because we are drama and commitment free. So we want to make sure that we hold that up so that people don't get bugged while they're in that group. So far, it's an awesomely friendly place to be, so I invite you guys to show up there. If you're ever confused about what things we have in the community, go to qualitycrafts.com. There'll be links to click to all the things. And let me see, are there any... Alrighty. I'm going to try to sign off. I'm not exactly sure how this works on this new beta, but I'm going to try to do it the same way we did next time, and maybe I'll check out the ending at the end and see how that went, and then I'll do some tweaking if need be. I hope that you guys had fun today. Give it a big thumbs up if this is the kind of series and videos that you like to see. Remember, we go live every Wednesday and Friday at 5 p.m. Our sales are every other weekend from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday, with the next one coming up on the 23rd, which is a Sunday for patrons only, and the 29th again for the public sale. And I can't wait to see you guys there. Let's see. Yeah, if you ever have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us in the community group. There are a lot of people that would be happy to help you, including myself and Penny. And I can't wait to see you guys next video.